Welcome to Timeout with PC. I'm Pastor Cherie. I'm so glad you're tuned into the podcast today because we're talking about a really important subject, timeout. And in the beginning, God. Okay, so God has a plan for our lives. He's the creator. He's the source. He's everything. And so he, after creating the whole universe for 6 days, declared timeout, an entire day for timeout. So here, let me read you a definition I got from timeout. It says a short interruption in a sports event when a referee or other official coach stops the clock so that players can rest, so they can deliberate, they can make substitutions, they can strategize so they can win. So timeout is important to your winning, to your victory, for you to strategize, for you to rest, for just like we talked about here. So last week we learned that God took time out from creating the earth. But I've got another amazing story from the Bible where this has never happened since. It was a one-time event, but God actually stopped the clock. Stop the clock for an entire day. Let me read it to you. In Joshua chapter 10, Joshua spoke to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered the Amorites. So this was like a big event. This is a battle. They have timeouts in battle. So Joshua called a timeout. They had defeated the Amorites, but they had other enemies that were coming against them. And he said in the sight of Israel, "Sun, stand still upon Gibeon, and you, moon, in the valley of Ajalon." And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Now, this is written in the book of Jasher, that the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, did not go down for a whole day. Then the next verse is, and there was no day like that day before it or after it, when the Lord hearkened to the voice of a man, and the Lord fought for Israel. So God is our coach. In the beginning, he's our source. Our God coach tells us to have a timeout. And then we're just not going to have this timeout by ourselves. He's going to be right there as the coach to talk about what's going on in our life, what we might need to change, what might be hindering. Maybe we're carrying some baggage from our past, and he wants to get that off of us so we can actually win this race. So God was so serious about it, he actually made it a commandment. And when Jesus came to the earth, he didn't do away with it, he fulfilled it. He called himself the Sabbath rest. So here's some very important points about timeout. It's crucial for progress, for well-being, for creativity. Wow, you get so much more creative when you have a chance to catch your breath and think about, hey, there might be something that's latent on the inside of me that I've been dreaming about and I've never tried. But in a timeout, you can become creative. You can get peace and security, health, and really big time is quality relationships. People can get so busy. Americans are so busy trying to do everything out there, and their relationships are suffering. Their health is suffering. Their bodies are suffering. But more importantly, their souls are suffering. They're tired mentally, physically. But if we listen to our coach, we're going to win in this life. And that's so important. So don't be an outlaw. You need to listen to your coach and take some time out and rest for the things that are going on. Now, I know I've been accused of burning the candle at both ends and told that I was like a horse turning circles in the pasture. And then comes the eye twitch. These are all telltale signs that you have gone way past the time when you should be resting. So don't make it hard for yourself. By the way, here's some interesting facts. People used to eulogize Thomas Edison because he could get by on only 15 minutes of sleep periodically. Well, I don't think any of us would make it with that. But now here's Lillian Yeoman. She was a physician, and she was really doing amazing studies on diseases. And so she started taking drugs to make her stay awake for 24 hours. And she became addicted to those drugs because she never slept. But supernaturally, she got free from that and went on to write major books on healing subjects. So let's don't become idolizers of people who never get rest. Let's listen to our coach and devise a plan.